This YCN segment is brought to you by M.J. Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948.
Welcome back, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Dustin Ribellini, and we are here in Claremont, New Hampshire, downtown Claremont, Ramonto's Pizza. And don't forget, if you're ever looking for something to eat, take out, come in, pick it up, eat here. Pizza, garlic knots, they got it all, a whole menu. So check them out, Ramonto's Brick Oven Pizza in Claremont. Dustin, we move over to the hardwood, and the Celtics, long break, long layoff that they just finished up with, and over in London, big win. Good trip for the NBA, kind of grow their brand a little bit. A little different than the NFL, but a good trip.
Yeah, I think it's a good trip, and I think what I like about this trip from the NBA perspective is they only do it once. The NFL goes over there 3 times. That's a lot of travel for all these teams. Yeah. I know that most teams get the bye week after that, but still, NBA especially, with so many games in the season, the Celtics played, I think, 43 games before they went over there in, almost 55 days or so. And now they come back, they had 4 or 5 days off before they played the Pelicans last night. So that's what I really like about the NBA is they do it once. It's not an everyday thing, or every week thing. But yeah, I think it's good for the NBA. Always good to expand your product, kind of get the exposure. And you heard during that game, a lot of people recognize Kyrie Irving. He got some MVP chants over there. A lot of people realize who he is, and it was a very good trip to see and a nice win for the Celtics.
But it is tough, the scheduling, because you've got to crunch your first half games all the way in, then you've got to have 3 or 4 days off before the game. Now they've had 5 or 6
games
off.
And the Celtics played a lot of games.
Well,
they played a lot of games.
Really crunched in, and we were talking about that before they went over there and their record and how they're doing pretty well, considering they've had to have such a short time frame. So we go to that game, big comeback, another comeback of 10, 12, 15, 20 points. I mean, this team just continues. They don't get down a lot, but when they do get down, they seem to always come back.
Yeah, it seems like this team always has that killer instinct to just keep going and never give up. And I think what you saw in that game was tired legs. Anytime you play a game overseas, football or basketball, it's a little sloppy to start. Teams are kind of getting their bearings in a new arena that they've never played in before. Sure, it's one thing to practice with no defense, but you get in the game, it gets a little different. So they got a little sloppy early, but I think the Celtics showed they're the better team overall, really took it to the Sixers in the second half, and setting up for a good, really it's the second half of the season because they've played more than half their schedule already. Coming back home, getting a couple home games to kind of cement themselves, get their legs back, and get back to good basketball.
Yeah, and the Celtics, just the fact that they continue to come back, you can never count them out. So that's got to be good for their psyche. Yeah, they don't want to lose and fall behind early, but you know that in that halftime locker room, when Brad Stevens is talking to the guys, whether it be Tatum or Brown, Irving, hey, we're down 15, we can do this. We've done it before. So that's got to be a positive for them. One team that might not be as much of a positive, the Cleveland Cavaliers. They've lost now 3 in a row. I think 3 in a row.
Yep.
9 out of 12. Yeah, they lost 2 nights ago to the Warriors. Not a terrible loss, but the fact that they're playing no defense. What is the reason for this, or is this something that they can just turn on when they need to?
Well, anytime you have a LeBron James team, you think they're going to just turn it on. But the concerns you see this year is the Cavs are 29th in total defense. That's a big problem. In the past, the year that they won the title, they were 8th. Okay, that's a little different than being 29th. Offensively, I saw the stat earlier this week with Isaiah Thomas. Without Isaiah Thomas, the Cavs are number 3 offensively efficiency. Now they're 21st.
Wow.
So that shows you that he's really not fully back yet. If I was a Cavs fan, I'd be very concerned. Now, you do still have LeBron James. You do still have Kevin Love. You're going to have a healthy Isaiah Thomas. But the one thing that needs to happen, it needs to start on the defensive end. That's what makes me, as a Celtics fan, optimistic about the Celtics. They play defense. They've played defense from day 1 of this season through game 44 so far. They show up every night defensively and make it hard on the other team. And the Cavs right now, they're getting up like 115 points a game.
And if they keep falling backwards, I mean, I know there's a lot of time left, but they're right now only a game and a half out of the number 5 seed. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot because the playoffs are a different animal. But now as a 5 seed, you got to go on the road and you got to play better teams earlier than if you're the number 2 seed where you're playing a bad team. So a lot can change in a short amount of time, but the Cavs could be in trouble. Over on the West Coast, the Lakers, I know they're not a team anyone thought would make the playoffs. When Lonzo Ball was drafted, they knew what they were getting into. Do you think, obviously he's injured. He may be out for a while, they don't know. On the court or off the court, is this going to be a problem for the whole thing with Walton, the coach, and Luke Walton and Lonzo's father?
Yeah, you've heard LeVar Ball say that Luke Walton shouldn't be the coach or doesn't know how to coach his son, which, like you said, the Lakers knew what they were getting into. This wasn't a team that was going to compete right away. Thankfully for the Celtics, they're not, because they have that pick if it goes in the top 5. So something's got to change because something's not right all there, but I think they'll figure it out. Look, this is the NBA. It's going to get figured out or he's not going to play.
Right,
Bottom
exactly.
line.
Now, question before we go, not on the NBA, but the two other brothers, LiAngelo and LaMelo. I mean, what's the story with them? Are they ever going to play in the NBA?
They're not good enough. They're not good enough to play.
It doesn't seem like they're good enough. And then it seems like playing in Lithuania kind of backwards, right?
You would think, but it's just trying to get more exposure and get your kids money, so we'll see what happens.
I guess if he's in it for the money, fine, but I don't see them joining the Lakers with their brother in 3 years or whatever LeVar said. We'll take our final break. When we come back, we'll talk some college basketball. Ivy League play is underway, America East as well. We'll get into some of the season previews of that and then make our picks at the end of the show. We're live in Claremont, New Hampshire at Ramonto's. We'll be right back. YCN Sports Talk.